Hello my dear students, welcome to our channel Rajesh Biology and I am Rajesh MSc Zoology. Today our topic is placenta. Placenta means it is a structural and functional connection between the fetus and the mother. That is called placenta. That is okay. And now we have in human beings the placenta have different names. That is like deciduous placenta, deciduate placenta, deciduous placenta, and another name is called that is discoidal placenta. Discoidal placenta, deciduate placenta, and still another two names are also there like hemochorial placenta and chorioallantoic placenta. First of all, we will justify these two names, then we will move to the structure of the placenta and why it is called hemochorial placenta and this chorioallantoic placenta also. First of all, deciduate placenta. You know, at the time of the pregnancy or before the pregnancy also, if it is a endometrium, this is a endometrial lining, for example. Okay. In menstrual time, in the menstrual phase, the endometrium lining is going to be ruptured and sloughed out, and they are going to vanish out through the vagina at the time of the menstrual phase. Because of why? Like LH hormone decreases in that concentration. When LH decreases, corpus luteum is going to be degenerate. The regression of the corpus luteum result in a corpus albicans. When corpus luteum regression takes place, progesterone levels fall down. When there is no progesterone, sufficient amount of progesterone, endometrium rupture and releases out. What is the connection between progesterone and the corpus luteum and the endometrium? If we observe, uterus is made up of three layers, as you already know, that is perimetrium and middle myometrium. It is the myometrium. The green color is myometrium and endometrium. In endometrium, there is three layers. There is three layers. That is first one, which is very close to the muscle layer. That is called basal layer. Entire endometrium is not going to be ruptured. In endometrium, three layers are there. In the three layers, only two layers are ruptured and released out in every regular menstrual cycles and at the time of the maturation also. One is basal layer that is not participate in a endometrium, like it is not participate in a menstruation. It is not ruptured at the time of the menstruation. The next two layers is spongy layer, the red color layer. Here there is so much of blood vessels are there, so it is what? A spongy layer. And another one layer which is innermost layer, that is glandular layer. It is a compact layer. Compact layer. So in these three layers, spongy layer and compact layer, these two only going to be ruptured in every regular menstrual cycles. If the fertilization takes place, implantation also takes place within these two layers only. Implantation is not enter into the basal layer. At the time of implantation, the baby not enter into the myometrium or the perimetrium. The entire baby growth takes place in these two layers only, okay, which are going to be ruptured and releases out in a regular menstrual cycles. In the two layers only the implantation takes place. After 9 months of gestation, after 9 months of pregnancy, at the time of maturation, after the delivery of the fetus, even placenta also expelled out. The placenta is also takes place in these two layers only. Placenta is also formed in these two layers only. Along with that placenta, the endometrial lining, these two layers in all the three directions, that is also going to be ruptured and releases out. So along with the fetus, the endometrial lining is also ruptured and releases out. In that only the implantation takes place. In that only the placenta is formed. So these two layers is called decidual placenta. The placenta which comes out, which expels out after the delivery of the fetus, the placenta which expels out, that's why the placenta is called a deciduate placenta. Decidua means which is going to be rupture and fall down. Deciduous forest, the leaves are always going to be fall down. Like this, deciduate placenta. Clear the justification for this word. Next, why it is called discoidal placenta? Discoidal placenta, why it is called? Because previously morula, which is present in the fallopian tube, when it comes to the uterus, it is in a blastocyst stage. The blastocyst stage, outer trophoblast is there, and these trophoblast cells are going to secrete some other cells also. The other cells are going to be formed syncytium. Syncytium, heart is called functional syncytium because the entire heart work like a whole. That is only one cell. How it work like? Entire organ is also work like that only. That's why it is a functional syncytium. And skeletal muscles is called syncytial because multinucleate. Why it is? Because it is a syncytium. Syncytium means different cells are add with one another and only one amount of cytoplasm. They act like a single cell. Cytoplasm is so much of cytoplasm is there. Multinucleated. All the nucleus are also present. This is called syncytium. As like that, some cells which are secreted by the cytotrophoblast, the cell membranes all are fused and it forms a syncytiotrophoblast around the cytotrophoblast. It is a layer like thing. It is a layer. Just imagine one cover. If we take the ball and we keep that ball in one cover, that cover is like in that cover we fill the air also. So automatically what happens? That ball is present in that air and around there is a cover. Like that there is a syncytiotrophoblast. Okay. Here within this there is a embryonic proper. The embryonic proper is separated into the embryonic disc, bilaminar embryonic disc first. Next, trilaminar embryonic disc. If you have any doubts what is bilaminar, what is trilaminar, you can watch the previous videos. In that videos I explained what is bilaminar embryonic disc and trilaminar embryonic disc already. So from the epiblast there is amnion is formed. From the hypoblast yolk sac is formed. Okay. These extra embryonic membranes will increase later. Later like chorion is formed, allantois is formed. I'll let you know. Okay. So if you observe, it is a ectoderm. It is a endoderm. It is a future ectoderm. It is a future endoderm. Ectoderm, from this ectoderm only spinal cord and brain is formed. Okay. So spinal cord, where it is present? On the dorsal side, and it is a bilaminar embryonic disc. Where is the villi? The villi is formed or implantation takes place. The placenta is formed. Only the placenta is formed only on dorsal side to the embryo. Dorsal side to the embryo only the placenta is going to be formed in future. Okay. So it is a dorsal side of the embryo. Dorsal side of the embryo or dorsal side of the embryonic disc, the villi and placenta is formed. So it is called discoidal placenta. Discoidal placenta. Clear it is? Right. And you already know that placenta is a structural and functional unit between the fetus and the mother. Okay. And this placenta, how it is formed, I will let you know. First of all, if we divide the placenta from the maternal tissue and the fetal tissue, fetal part of the placenta and maternal part of the placenta, mother part. Uterine epithelium. Uterine epithelium is participated, and uterine connective tissue, from the mother. Some blood vessels are there, uterine blood vessels are there. There are uterine endothelial capillary, like a capillary endothelial lining. So uterine capillary endothelium. This is the mother part of the placenta. Come to the fetus. In fetus, placenta, how it is formed? At that time, the organs are not yet formed. To explain the fetal connective tissue or like a fetal something, Here mother is completely developed organism and it has the uterus. Mother have the uterus and the uterus have the blood supply and everything. Then what is the part of the fetus? Fetus also helps in the formation of the placenta. Fetal parts are also present. What is that actually? That is the extra embryonic membranes of the fetus. So extra embryonic membranes, in that mainly chorion is formed. So chorionic epithelium of placenta. We already discussed previously 4 extra embryonic membranes are there: amnion, yolk sac, chorion and allantois. In that chorion and allantois, these together participate in the formation of the this placenta. Mainly the chorion is important. Chorionic epithelium is there, and the fetus connective tissue. Fetal connective tissue. What is the fetal connective tissue means? Fetal connective tissue means it is nothing but a mesoderm, extra embryonic mesoderm or extra embryonic mesodermal layer. It is going to participate in this placenta. If you already watch our previous video, you will know that extra embryonic mesoderm like somatic flora, cytotrophoblast together only called chorion. So fetal connective tissue, and last but not least this fetal capillary endothelium. These are the parts, fetal part of the placenta. This is the maternal part of the placenta. This is clear. It is first, right? And now come to the another 2 names of this placenta, that is hemochorial placenta, hemochorial placenta, chorioallantoic placenta, chorioallantoic placenta. We have to know about these 2 things. Okay, I'll erase these differences and at this diagram. Then I'll let you know how the placenta is formed. Then automatically you will know why it is called chorioallantoic placenta and why it is called hemochorial placenta also. Right, listen, observe this ones like it is a syncytial trophoblast. Just imagine as the board is the endometrium. Which endometrium? Like a deciduous endometrium. That means spongy layer and another one compact layer. These together only this is endometrium. Okay, this border, if you want to feel like up to the placenta heading, this is what the layer of the basal layer of the endometrium. This border, it is a muzzle layer like myometrium. Before that, that is a perimetrium, outer to the perimetrium. So it is completely embedded. It is a cytotrophoblast. Within this cytotrophoblast, there is it is a syncytial trophoblast. Within that cytotrophoblast, cells are crystal clearly appeared. This syncytial trophoblast it is going to produce a hormone called HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. We will discuss the HCG function later also. First we have to know this. It is a human chorionic, that means from the chorion. It is already called as a chorionic villi. The villi, it is called trophoblastic villi, is also called what? Chorionic villi. Okay, HCG, it is act like a LH. HCG act like what? LH. You know already this in the absence of fertilization, endometrium is going to be ruptured and menstruation continues. Why? Because the corpus luteum health is only 14 days. That is corpus luteum health maintained by the LH hormone. After the ovulation, LH decreases within 14 days. After ovulation, LH decreases, corpus luteum degenerates and progesterone declines, the endometrium rupture and releases. It is continuous regular process. But at the time of pregnancy, endometrium should not be ruptured. Endometrium should be maintained. That for that purpose, progesterone is required. And we cannot go for the hospital every day for the progesterone. We should not take progesterone tablets also. It should be in a natural manner. So what is the source of progesterone? Corpus luteum is the source. But corpus luteum is going to be degenerated because of the low LH. So what we have to do? So the placenta, like chorionic placenta or this syncytial trophoblast, it know that progesterone is very important. It is know that, and progesterone will decline within 14 days. That is also known by this ovum, that developed embryo. So syncytial trophoblast plays a very important role in secretion of HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin hormone. It acts like a LH. You know already it is endometrium. Endometrium have capillary blood vessels. As I already told you, spongy layer, it is very warm. More amount of blood capillaries, that's why it is warm. Like this, so much amount of blood capillary system is present. And every capillary is the arterial capillary and start with a like end in a vein capillaries. Venous system it is. Here the uterine vein, endometrial vein and endometrium capillary artery. Okay. So this is how embryonic disc it is present within this. It is the embryonic disc, bilaminar embryonic disc. From the bilaminar embryonic disc, first amnion is formed, next yolk sac is formed. This is yolk sac and it is amnion. Okay, yolk sac is going to secrete a connective tissue, that is a like, okay, yolk sac I'll draw in a, this is the yolk sac. Okay, around the yolk sac only secretes some extra embryonic mesoderm, that is the connective tissue. Extra embryonic mesoderm, it is like this. Okay, and that extra embryonic mesoderm cover all the embryonic disc. Bilaminar embryonic disc is covered in all the ways except at a stalk. This is the only the stalk where the connection is there to the this proper. Okay, this is the stalk, and later it forms a cavity within this. Of course, you already know all these things, right? A cavity. This cavity is called extra embryonic coelom. Extra embryonic coelom, and this extra embryonic coelom, this outermost layer, it is the somatic pleura. It is a splanchnic pleura. Okay, so it is also called secondary schizocelic. You know, we are the enterocoelomates. Humans are the enterocoelomates because echinodermata, hemichordata, chordata are enterocoelomates. And before the remaining phylums like mollusca and arthropoda, annelida, schizocoelomates. Before that, Osculmenthes pseudocoelomate, Plantaelmenthes acoelomate, like that. Even though we are enterocoelomates, some amount of coelom is formed by the splitting, so it is called secondary schizocelic. Humans are secondary schizocelic. Okay, splitting is formed, and it is the somatopleura. The somatopleura plus cytotrophoblast together called what? That is also we discussed previously. It is only called the chorion. So this, from this chorion, actually the cytotrophoblast first, it produces a columns. Cytotrophoblast produces columns like this. These are the columns. Okay. At this time only the trophoblastic cells are present. It is the trophoblastic cells only present. Columns are produced. Okay. This is one way. It is in one, like all actions are happen in a simultaneous manner. Like syncytial trophoblast is going to be expand and invade into the endometrium. It is the board is endometrium. Within this it is going to be expanded like this. Like this it is expanding, and within this cytotrophoblast, the bilaminar embryonic disc is going to convert into the trilaminar embryonic disc by forming this mesoderm, and from the mesoderm only the chorion and allantois is also going to be formed. Okay, this is how inside the actions are going on. Simultaneously, cytotrophoblast is going to be invaded and it forms columns. Cytotropoblastic villi columns it is going to be formed. Okay, in between these columns, some spaces are formed. The cavities are formed. The cavities are, puddles in AP roads. If we observe in a rainy season, and every season actually, we can observe on the roads only so many puddles are there. The type of cavities are observed in this. The puddle-like cavities. These are called lacuna. And this system is called lacunae system. Okay, like this lacunas are formed. And the syncytial trophoblast, how it is invasive? It is very invasive, and it is going to be rupture the endometrial capillaries. It ruptures what? Endometrial capillaries. Like this it is going to be rupture. It ruptures and it connects. When endometrium blood capillary ruptures, what happens? Within the capillary so much of blood is there with a high blood pressure. Like high blood pressure means arteries have the blood pressure, right? So the blood enter into this cavity. The blood enter into the cavity and they fill the lacunae. Lacunae are filled with the maternal blood. Lacunae are filled with what? Maternal blood. They not only rupture the artery, they rupture the vein also, because they don't know which is artery and which is vein. They don't know. So like that venous blood is also comes, and that is also filled in the lacunae. These lacunae are communicate with one another like this. These lacunae are communicate with one another, and the blood is also be connected. So if you observe the chorionic villi, what it is called up to now, it is a chorionic villi, and in between the chorionic villi, the mother's blood is there. The lacunae are filled with the maternal blood. So this villi, this placenta, this type of placenta is called hemochorial placenta. The blood of the mother and the chorionic layer of the embryo are going to be connected, and here the villi is present, and around the villi it is completely lacunae, the cavities filled with the mother's blood. It is a hemochorial placenta. And remember, the mother's blood and the fetus blood never merged. The placenta is going to be act like a barrier between the maternal circulation and the fetus circulation. So it is a hemochorial placenta. Okay, now from this endoderm only, from this endoderm, already from the gut only, the secondary yolk sac, the primary yolk sac is converted into the secondary yolk sac, and the same gut, the yolk sac is also, allantois is also formed. The nitrogenous waste is stored in the yolk sac, allantois, like that we discussed. Yolk sac is a storage house for the remaining all animals. Yolk sac have a function to store the food and to nourish the developing embryo. That is the function of yolk sac in the remaining animals. Here yolk sac don't have it that much of function, because here placenta perform the nourishment and everything. Come to the allantois. Allantois is for the storage in the nitrogenous waste. This allantois is going to be spread. The allantois, when the embryo is going to be bent in this manner, when the embryo is bent in this manner, from this only, like yolk sac and allantois comes out. The allantois is also participate. Allantois is also participate in the villi formation. So I'll erase this and I'll draw in a perfect manner how the embryo, once it is bent, okay, how the chorionic and allantois is going to be merged. Right, here it is a cytotrophoblast, white color villi it is. Into that the cytotrophoblast plus the somatoc layer together, it is called the chorion. So chorionic villi it is. Into that chorionic villi, the allantois, green color is allantois. This green color allantois is also participate. So it is called chorioallantoic placenta. And these all are communicated with the embryo through one umbilical cord. Through the umbilical cord. In this umbilical cord only, there is some blood capillaries are also present. So it is a chorioallantoic placenta, hemochorial placenta, and deciduous placenta, deciduate placenta. It is going to be ruptured and released out after the maturation of the baby. And it is a discoidal placenta, because at the beginning time only on the dorsal side only villi is present. So it is a discoidal placenta. Clear how the placenta is formed, what are the tissues from the mother and what are the tissues from the fetus are going to be merged to form the placenta. Now come to the functions of the placenta. If we discuss the functions, first of all, it supply oxygen and nutrients. It supply what? O2 and nutrients. and it eliminates carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste. So it is going to supply the oxygen and nutrients to the fetus, and it eliminates carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste from the fetus. This is first like a barrier. It acts like a barrier, and this barrier not only for the microbes. The fetus blood and the maternal blood are not going to be merged. The fetal blood and the mother blood is not going to be merged. So there is no problem like if A group mother give birth to the B group baby, at that time the baby will be safe. No problem with that B group person within the uterus of this A group mother. Okay, so it acts like a barrier. And not only that, placenta acts like a temporary endocrine gland. It is an endocrine gland. It is going to secrete a hormone called HCG, previously what we discussed, human chorionic gonadotropin, which act like a LH and which helps in the maintenance of corpus luteum. And that corpus luteum health will be continued another 4 months. That means first trimester is completed. In second trimester, beginning first month, 4 months, the corpus luteum will be maintained in the presence of HCG. Gradually HCG hormones decreases. So where there is no HCG, corpus luteum is also going to be regressed, degenerated. Okay. Then what happened? The pregnancy is 9 months and HCG is only 4 months. How it is possible? For the remaining time, corpus luteum not, like in placenta only secrete the hormone progesterone. Progesterone is secreted by the endometrium. And another hormone, estrogen, for the proliferation of the endometrium. Estrogen is secreted by this placenta. And not only that, it secretes HPL, human placental lactogen. Human placental lactogen act like a prolactin. You know prolactin function, it helps in the secretion of the milk. So that is a function of the HPL. And like prolactin, how it is works within the pregnant mother, after the post delivery, post maturation, how the prolactin works, as like the HPL works on the mammary glands for the development and secretion of the milk. Somatotropin. And in later phases of pregnancy, another hormone is also released, that is relaxin. Relaxin hormone relaxes at the time of the maturation. The joints and muscles, everything become relaxes at the time of maturation. So later phases of pregnancy, relaxin is also secreted by the placenta. Not only by the ovary secretes, okay. Placenta also secretes some amount of relaxin which helps in the relaxation of the muscles and joints. So this is an endocrine gland, it is a barrier and it protects the baby, it gives nourishment, it eliminates carbon dioxide. So these are the functions of the placenta, okay. And in next video we will discuss the organ development like pregnancy, 3 trimesters developments and everything, and later maturation and last lactation. Clear? Yes. Thank you. Have a nice day.